you have seen the James Webb Space Telescope's images? I've seen a few of them, and I was wondering how many of you had noticed a few things. Noticed a few secrets, noticed the little things, and sometimes the big things. My name is Jwst, and welcome to my channel. Let's talk about transmissions. Let's talk about how far of a distance can the James Webb Space Telescope view. Did you know that the James Webb Telescope can see 13.6 billion light years away? Imagine the amount of information. Imagine the amount of data. How do you transmit that data back to Earth? And considering that it's a megapixel telescope, so the image quality are significantly huge. Imagine getting as much detail as possible. It's 100 times more powerful than our most powerful telescope that we have. Now, what do you consider about the transmission? Transmission of the megapixel data from 1,000,000 miles away from Earth to here without interference. How many of you are scientists? How many of you love space? How many of you want to travel in space? Just like Star Wars, Star Trek, and all the other movies, TV shows, and cartoons, everything that depicts us going to space to check out what are the possibilities. I know I am. I know I am because I love space. I know I am because I love what the possibilities entail. I know I am because not only does that technology help us in space, it also helps us here on Earth. It helps us to be able to create technology where we can communicate faster. Imagine having less technology while creating the ability for all of us in the world to be able to communicate to one another. Creating resources in a way that are communications between places where they have nothing, places where people can't even afford food to be able to talk to us. So we can talk to them, they can talk to us. So we can teach them how to take care of themselves. Let's talk about transmissions. Most transmissions, after a certain finite distance, their transmission is deteriorated. Either the quality of the video is horrible or the speed of the video is significantly slower. So either you give up speed or you give up quality. And realistically, when we're trying to explore space, we need better quality and speed. That's why the James Webb Space Telescope right now is sending images. Whenever you're in space, whenever you're communicating in space with any device, imagine having that finite distance. But let's look at on Earth. It's also finite distance. It's also finite speed. It's also finite quality because the amount of people that are on there is significantly more. Imagine those amount of people that are on there is similar to having megapixels. The megapixels, which the more megapixels there are, means that the slower the speed is going to get. Having live 4K video or the best video quality is significantly harder. I created another video, live 4K Mars. Check that video out. I don't know about you, but trying to send data over 1,000,000 miles away from Earth is significantly huge. Transmissions and our videos and our pictures that we're trying to send throughout the galaxies, throughout the universes. Once it goes through those gases, it's only stopping the transmission power and strength is deteriorating. So by the time you get here and it's that far of a distance of those gases, and guess what? Your transmission's cut. Your transmission is no longer powerful. Your transmission is gone. So how do those other aliens or other life beings know the fact that we're trying to send communications or trying to send transmissions or trying to send videos? Another factor is considering it's light years away, 13.6 light years away. Imagine 13.6 billion light years away. So the fact that it's 13.6 billion light years away and we're trying to send transmission data, what if that data is beep, 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 and that's every few hundred years or every few thousand years or every billion years? What if we're just missing it? What if we don't know it? That's what it is. What if we think that it's a star or sun or another planet? What if we didn't realize that the basic communications that, or maybe aliens or maybe another life form has been sending us data while we've been sending them data? But they didn't understand it because they're billions of light years away. Where we don't understand it because we don't understand their communications, and we don't know that a beep beep blimp, just like the stars, the sun, or because it was stopped because of these gases. So how do we know? That's another factor that we have to consider. Like, how do you build something that can go through these gases, go through these obstacles, still transmit the data that we need, still transmit these videos that we've provided for the amount of years that we've been sending out these communications, for the amount of years that we have been growing? How do we know that the transmissions went through? How do we know that they understood? How do we know that there's actual alien life? What type of alien life? There's endless possibilities with creating stronger, faster, better technology that we use in space that we can use here on Earth. The things that we learn in space and the things that we learn here are just a small step. It's just a small step to creating a clean environment, creating a clean power source, creating so many things for us. When I say clean power source, I'm also talking about what is the amount of power that it takes for us to power the James Webb Space Telescope. Was that it would last for 5.5 years. The original thoughts was that amount of fuel, that amount of resources, it would last for 5.5 years. Their estimate was off. And now it's actually better than what they had originally planned. It's actually going to be for 10 years, that it could last 20 or 50 or 100, or until we create some newer or better technology. Imagine the amount of power that it takes to keep it running. And we can utilize that. We can utilize that here on Earth too. We can utilize that by creating free, clean energy, just like Nikola Tesla had intended. Nikola Tesla has intended to create a clean wireless power solution. Imagine the ability, because look at space, look at planets, look at our solar system, look at beyond our solar system. All of these planets are running. All of these planets and solar systems and stars and black holes, they're self-maintaining. We don't have to give them resources. They take it, they use it in a way, keeps the galaxies and universes going and creating life on each of those planets and solar systems by utilizing the James Webb Telescope to create a clean, friendly energy resource. We could use that here on Earth. Imagine the entire world being powered by that singular, clean, wireless power source. Just like Nikola Tesla had intended. What do you think? Would you want something like that, or would you not? What are the benefits of it? Do you believe that there are benefits for having a clean wireless power solution? I know I do. Some of the ways that I realized that we could utilize a clean wireless power source system is we would no longer need batteries. All our electronics would automatically always be charged. They would have continuous electricity coming to it without doing harm to us, without hurting the earth, without hurting animals, without hurting plants. Imagine the type of energy that is already there in the planet and we're utilizing it. Look at plants. They utilize light. They have the ability to grow by just absorbing light. And for us, absorbing light is also good. It's bad and it's good. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine your cars, your boats, your trains, your planes, your phones, your laptops, your tablets, all of your devices. Everything in the world would have free clean energy. You would never need a battery again. Imagine the amount of resources that we can utilize to take those resources that we create batteries with to do something else with them. First are black holes. With black holes, wireless technology, and energy, that could actually help us to create a stable black hole. But we would have to have enough power that it would take the amount of power that's given for one wireless tower to power the entire world. We would need 4 or 10 of those. And that would just barely scratch the possibilities of us utilizing a black hole for its potential to see what's on the other side. Is it that you can go in it and come back out? Or is it that you have to go right through it and be safe? But what's on the other side of it? Is it the past? Is it the future? Is it the current? Or is it just an empty black hole? I have so many questions. Then I saw the most amazing, the most beautiful thing. It led me to want to know more. It led me to ask more. And it led me to know, did you guys see it? Did you guys see the thing that I saw? Did you see the two things? Let's talk about it. It's rotation, parallel rotation of two suns. They're parallel to one another and they're turning at the same time. They are two suns. Have you ever seen two suns rotate parallel to one another? Do you know what's in the center? Do you know what's around it? Do you know if there's planets around both of the suns? And does that mean that while they're rotating and the planets are rotating, do they have 365 days of sunlight and then 365 days of midnight and then back to sunlight again for another 365 days? Or is it a shorter time frame? How much shorter of a time frame? And how does that affect the plant life, the food, the animals, their environment? Considering that we live here on Earth, if we had no sunlight for 365 days, that's like killing off a lot of our plant life. That's killing off a lot of people. Would this actually be killing off nature? Would this kill off life as we know it on these planets? Or would it create new life? Create new life that gets to live longer or gets to live shorter? Or what are the implications if that happens? Would that also mean that there's more radiation? What do you think? Would you think that there's more radiation? Let me know in the comments below. There's so many more questions that I have because I saw these two suns parallel rotating. That is the most incredible thing that I got to witness, that I got to see, that I noticed. But I don't know if other people noticed. I don't know if NASA has kept this from people. My name is Jwst and thanks for watching.